Blend Bunny has released another collection with ELLIS Atlantis, and this collection, listen, when I saw the reveal on Instagram, I was the personification of the emoji with the star eyes. I think it is so gorgeous. We have 4 products in the collection. I'm gonna go over them. I'm gonna do close-ups and swatches, give you some information about the collection. Then I will show you look 1, then look 2. Look 2 is what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. And then I give you my initial thoughts at the end. Now, this is not a full review. I have to use collections more than twice before I give you my full and final thoughts. But of course, I will end up putting these in a palette ranking in the future or a review video in the future. And yes, I would love to know your thoughts as you're watching this video. Are you excited about this collection as well? Are you planning on picking anything up from the collection? And I will put timestamps down below. I will also put a link to Blend Bunny's site below in the description box. Probably by the time, if you are watching this right when I post it, it may not be available yet, but it will be available soon. And I will list everything that I'm wearing in my face in both looks. All right, I think that's all I have to say. Let me show you this collection. I'm very excited. So this, like I said, is a round 2 with ELLIS Atlantis. ELLIS is an Instagram creator. I will link ELLIS's Instagram down below in the description box. They first created this palette. This was their round 1, which was a ginormous rainbow palette. There were some other things in the collection as well. There were some blushes, there was a highlight. And so now they are doing a round 2. I love the packaging on this. And because I'm a neutral lover, I'm very much into this collection. So let me start off with the 30 pan palette. This is called the Volume 2 30 Matte Shade Palette. This is gonna retail for $42. Like I said, I love the packaging on everything. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It is a gorgeous, all matte, pretty neutral leaning palette. I'm gonna get so much use out of this. I love Blend Bunny's matte formula. It is in my top 3 favorite matte formulas. Personally, I think they are extremely easy to work with. They're easy to sheer out, build up, and blend on top of each other. They're not patchy. They're just gorgeous mattes, in my opinion. And I do enjoy that we are kind of keeping to the gradient type of thing that they usually do, their style. So really enjoy this. We have a kind of a row of very warm tones, some gray leaning shades. We have a neutral brown and then more of like a mauve-y side over here. So I feel like if you are looking to add warm and cool tones to your collection, you would enjoy this. But something that they've done here that I think is really smart is they are also coming out with 2 smaller palettes that actually are the same shades in the large palette, but split into 2 smaller palettes. So first we have the Volume 2 Imperial palette, which is more cool toned. Again, these are columns, well, they're rows in this palette, but columns in the big palette. They're the exact same columns that are in the larger palette. So this one is really good if you're looking for more of a cool tone situation. And then we have the Volume 2 Origin palette, which I think is a combination of warm and cool because you do have that true warm. We have the neutral browns, but then we have mauve purples, so you have a little bit of everything here. All of the pans are magnetic, so I think it's really smart. If you are somebody who likes more of a smaller palette to travel with, you could get one of these, pop out some of the mattes, and then stick in some shimmers if that's like your jam, if you like to do matte and shimmer looks. So with that being said, we have an all shimmer palette. This is my favorite packaging of them all. Look how gorgeous. Gorgeous. And this is called the Garden of Stars palette, and it is a palette full of gorgeous sparkly shimmers. Some of them have a more transparent base, some have more of a deeper base, some of them shift. We have just a gorgeous variety of all different colors of shimmers that I think you're going to be able to create endless looks with. I was really shocked when I swatched them. They were just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. By the way, I'm sorry, I'm going a little fast because I'm a little excited, but these smaller matte palettes retail for $21 each. They're 15 shades. And the Garden of Stars palette is 18 pans and it retails for $48. This collection is going to launch on Friday, August 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and you can use my affiliate code Rachel to save 10% at Blend Bunny. I did receive this collection in PR from the brand. Thank you so much, Blend Bunny, for sending this my way. They, like I said, they are one of my favorite brands, and if I wasn't going to receive this in PR, I was absolutely going to buy some version of these. I'm glad to have everything, honestly, but I will say I am, just so you know, going forward, when I start to feature this on the channel, I am going to keep the 30 pan palette. I'm going to give these to my best friend from elementary school, actually. She's still one of my best friends. She is a wedding makeup artist, or like a special events makeup artist. I've been wanting her to try Blend Bunny forever. And I feel like having these in her kit, these smaller palettes, are going to be amazing for her. Like I really feel like she's gonna get a lot of use out of these. So I actually sent her like a video and I asked her, do you want these or do you want the big palette? And she said, I would love to have the smaller palettes. They would be really good for my kit. So keep that in mind if you are a makeup artist. I really think these smaller palettes would be super convenient. And again, they are magnetic. So you can mix and match and kind of customize whatever shade you feel like you're gonna get the most use out of. Pop a couple of the shimmers in there. I don't know, I'm really excited. But anyway, just so you know, I am gonna keep the 30 pan palette. I'm gonna give the two smaller matte palettes away to my friend, and I'm definitely keeping the shimmer palette. But yeah, let me know your thoughts after seeing this. What do you think? What do you think about this collection? I'm really excited for it. I think it's super curated, done very creatively. It's neutral, but it does have some pops of kind of muted color in there, and yeah. So I'm gonna let you check out the two looks that I created. The first look I created was much more neutral, more brown, warm, which is my personal favorite type of look to do. And then I created something a little more ethereal. I was aiming for ethereal, okay, let's put it that way. And then I will give you my thoughts at the end. All right, enjoy the video. All right, my first look with the new Ellis Round 2 collection, I am gonna do something a little more neutral, a little more warm. I know, big shocker, right? And my second look, I will do something a little more colorful. I am so excited about this collection. I'm sure I already talked about this in the beginning, but I am so drawn to this matte palette. I feel like this is something I'm going to really love to have in my collection. I'm gonna travel with it. I'm gonna use it all the time. I just know it. This is so exciting to me. So I've already primed my eyes. Let's go in first with the shade Evoke right here. And I'm gonna put this through the crease. I'm gonna take that same shade and just run it on my lower lash line. That's a good shade. It's a little lighter than I thought it was gonna be, but it is nice just like to have a transition shade that's just slightly deeper than my skin tone. I'm next gonna go in with the shade Ignite right here, which is the red, and I'm gonna put this in my crease as well as the outer corner. This is definitely gonna pull it a little more warm. I'm also gonna take the same shade and run it on my lower lash line. And now finally for my outer corner, I'm gonna go into the shade Burnt just to deepen it up. And I'm also once again gonna bring that onto my lower lash line. All of those mattes worked like the usual good Blend Bunny mattes. I have absolutely no complaints. They built on top of each other nicely. They were pretty effortless to blend, pretty much what I expect from the brand. So now I'm gonna go in with the NYX Glitter Primer on my lid before I go in with one of the shimmers. I have not swatched these palettes at this very moment, so I'm so excited to try out one of these shimmers on my lid. The Instagram posts that Ellis and Blend Bunny posted made these shimmers look so beautiful, and they look really pretty in the pan. I wanna go in with the shade Infused right here, which is just like kind of like a brownie champagne, and I wanna put this on the lid. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Not chunky at all, super like creamy to the touch. absolutely gorgeous. If you know me, you know this type of look is like everything I need. I think just for the fun of it, I want to take this shimmer called Realm right next to it. And I want to pick this up on a brush and spray it and put this on my lower lash line in the inside part of my lower lash line. Really pretty. This one might have a shift to it. Of course, this is not going to be the best opportunity to see the shift, but I think I see a little bit of a shift. Oh, I like that. That's really fun. And I'm going to go back into the mattes, and I'm going to pick up the matte white, whoop, up here, which is called Calcified. And I'm going to put that in my inner corner. This was super effortless. Like, that is just how I think of Blend Bunny's eyeshadows. They're just super effortless. I'm looking at the monitor. I've been filming for 9 minutes. It took me 9 minutes to do this eye look. I mean, that's pretty darn good. So I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my look. I'm gonna come back to show you the final look. All right, and this is the finished look. What do you think? I think it came out so pretty. And I added kind of a bold lip. I don't usually do that, but I was feeling a bold lip with this kind of more neutral looking eye look. So, of course, everything that is on my face that I use on and off camera is always listed in the description box. But I'm always happy when I can create a neutral look out of something. I feel like the possibilities for that are endless with this. You could do something truly just brown neutral, a little more leaning warm. We have some more like cool tone gray leaning shades. I'm definitely excited to play with this kind of purpley section. That might be something I do next, but this is definitely giving me like Dollhouse vibe, the Dollhouse palette that they came out with before. I think the Dollhouse one is a little more colorful, but this is like a neutral palette for a colorful lover, or a kind of interesting, muted, colorful neutral palette for a neutral lover. So yeah, I'm excited to continue using the palette. I will create something a little more colorful for the next look. But yeah, I'm gonna send you off to the next look now. I cannot find my little clips that I use to get my hair, so the only thing I can find is this really cute, but it's gonna look awkward in my hair, this little shell clip that I got years ago. So I know this is a look, but I need the hair out of my face. So that's what I'm going with. Let's do something a little more zhuzhed up today. That's what I'm thinking. I wanna play with like the purpley tones maybe. So let me start off with the shade Enamel. Right here. I have already primed my eyes, and I'm just gonna put that shade through the crease. In my outer corner, I wanna go in with the shade Conscious, this really pretty purple. So I put the NYX Glitter Primer on my lid off camera. I wanna put a shimmer all over, like I want it to go pretty much over my entire lid. And this shade Elusive right here, I actually swatched everything just before sitting down to film this second look. And these shimmers swatch so beautifully. Super sparkly, not chunky and textured, but definitely multi-dimensional. Some of them are shifty. The one I used on my lower lash line yesterday is definitely at least a duochrome. It's a very interesting shade. I'm looking forward to using this on a bigger part of my eye versus yesterday I just used it a little part of my eye to get that full like shift. But this one, Elusive, I don't know if it's holographic, but it almost looks holographic. It is so beautiful, like an icy blue purple. I want to tap this over my whole lid. I kind of want to keep it, like I don't want to put a full swipe opaque layer. I want to just kind of make it so that it's a light sparkle. So I'm taking the finger that has the shimmer on it, tapping it, and then taking a finger that doesn't have any shimmer and then just kind of spreading it out. Because I think that's what I want, just more of like a wet look, a little more piecey. It is so, so pretty. So, so pretty. It's been a minute since I've done like my, I was gonna say my signature double wing. It's not my signature. It's not my signature, but it is a look I like to do. I'm gonna do a wing on top and then I'm gonna do a wing on the bottom lash line. So my favorite brush to do this with is the BK Beauty 208. In fact, I was just going through my entire brush collection trying to find this brush because this is the only brush I can do this look with. It is the tiniest little angle brush. I am going to buy more of these. I'm gonna buy more of these. They are sold on Amazon, but they don't sell this brush individually on Amazon. So I'm gonna have to go on their website to buy it. I will link this brush down below if you're interested. It's an amazing brush for like doing a precise wing. I'm gonna go into the shade Deception, which is like the deep purple. I'm gonna create a wing with this on my upper lash line. Like that. I'm gonna go off camera and do the other eye so that it matches. And I'm gonna put some makeup on and I will come back and we can continue with the look. All right, let's do the bottom wing next. I'm gonna take the same brush. I'm gonna take the same shade Deception and I'm going to draw a line on my lower lash line and wing it out. And I'm keeping a little bit of a space in between the upper wing and the lower wing. I'm gonna take a little pencil brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Conscious. Conscious, conscience, conscious. You ever look at a word too long and it starts to look like it doesn't make any sense? That's how I'm feeling. Anyway, I'm gonna blend out just the bottom lash line, not the wing part. I'm gonna take the Lin's Makeup Looks and Glisten Cosmetics Water Activated Liner Palette, and I'm going to use the white, and I'm gonna draw a line between the two wings. I think this brush, this one is from Singe Beauty. I think it's a little too big for what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna take one of the brushes from Lin's collection. Which one is this? The number 2. So tiny. Just try to clean it up a little bit. That does not look as good as I was hoping. It looks a little jagged, but I think from far away, it's going to be totally fine. I'm not really that worried about it. And what I like to do when I do this with the white is I like to put a white in my waterline just so it almost looks like it's coming from my waterline and going out. This one is from ColourPop and it's in the shade Exit. I want to try one of these shimmers in the inner corner. I'm going to use the shade Perline right here, and I'm going to spray the brush as well. And then I kind of had the thought, I kind of want to use the shade that I used on my lid as a highlighter on my face. We're just playing, we're just having fun. I want to try it. So I'm going to take this is actually an eyeshadow brush from Morphe, but it's pretty big. I'm going to take that shade Elusive very lightly. And actually I'm going to spray my face with setting spray so that it kind of catches the reflect. How does that look? Really pretty. Definitely more of like a sparkly highlight. Can you see it? Hopefully. That is so pretty. You can see like the pink and purple reflect. And it has, especially if you use a fluffy brush, it has more of a transparent base so that you can use it on your face without getting like a stripe. That's really fun. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera, I'm gonna finish up my look, and I will come back to show you the final look and to give you my initial thoughts on the collection. All right, and this is the finished look number 2. What do you think? I feel like a little fairy. I love it. I love it. I think it came out really pretty, really ethereal. I was trying my best to look like this. Did I succeed? Maybe not quite, but I'm still happy with this look. I think I showed two very different looks, different ways that you can create looks with the palette. And of course, there's so many endless combinations in my opinion. Honestly, my initial thoughts, like I have to keep using these products, but I do have quite a lot of experience with Blend Bunny's formula. I think the mattes are the good quality Blend Bunny mattes that I expect from the brand. I love that they did this collection in the way that they did, where they have the option for the large 30 pan palette, or you can pick up one of the smaller palettes. I think it's really, really smart that you're able to, you know, maybe you don't want a 30 pan palette. I totally would understand that, full of matte shades, that you can pick one of them and then you can take the shadows out. Like for me personally, like I said, I am going to give these to my friend, but I have the shimmer palette where I can take out some of these shimmers and put some mattes in and travel with a palette that's a little smaller. I think that's going to be really fun for me because, yeah, this can be big to travel with. I mean, I still travel with the larger palettes from Blend Bunny, but I think it's done in a way that's really smart. I love the packaging on everything. I love the vibe. I love the color story because I love neutrals. So for me, this is something I'm really gonna enjoy using. So the mattes are the good quality mattes that I expect. These shimmers are so pretty, super shiny, super sparkly. They do remind me of the shimmers that are in the newer Blend Bunny palettes that are just like super wet to the touch, just that ultra sparkly wet look type of shimmer, which I personally really enjoy. So yeah, I would love to know your thoughts after watching this video. Are you planning on picking this collection up? Anything in the collection, a few things, everything? Let me know. I would love to know your thoughts, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.